This podcast contains lots of comments about dumb things that don't matter. Some of those things contain strong language. You have been warned. Try not to take life so seriously, and remember, everything you're about to hear is strictly hypothetical.
We're all jacked into the Matrix.
You mean this ain't real?
All right, well, welcome back, everyone, to Strictly Hypothetical, the podcast where we explore the wonderful world of what ifs, would you rathers, and other hypothetical situations. We are officially of drinking age, y'all. This is episode 21.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Yay. Don't have to steal from our older brother's podcast anymore.
Yes.
Oh.
I am your Wonder Witch and one part to this TriHosts destiny. And I'm here with Steven.
I'm Steven.
And Michael.
I'm Michael.
And there's little baby Pipsqueaks coming from Harper.
She's here.
She's here. She's hanging out with us. She should be our mascot.
The Sundottir has returned.
The Sundottir. The sweetest Sundottir.
So you'll probably hear a couple little baby noises throughout the episode.
Count your lucky stars because Mercury's in retrograde, you know?
Oh, fuck. I knew shit was messed up today. I just knew it. I left the house and I'm like, something's not right.
So you said that and I didn't realize Mercury. Wow.
Mercury's in retrograde.
This is why I'm having a hard time. It's because Mercury is in retrograde.
Yep, that's
I
what
did
it
not
is.
realize that we were in retrograde.
I'm really not even sure that we are.
I think we are. Because
It's just a good
listen,
excuse to get you out. It's like pleading the fifth.
I got an advertisement on Instagram for a nail polish brand, which I don't look up nail art. I don't do anything with nail polish.
Yeah.
But the theme of the colors was Mercury in retrograde. And so I don't know if it was advertising to me because Mercury's in retrograde and everything's fucked up or like what? Because it was certainly not because of the nail polish. So
Yeah.
they were cool colors though. I had a bottom.
Yeah, all these digital advertisers are in sync with the solar system.
Definitely. I mean, I just know I woke up this morning and just like felt it in my bones. Something was in retrograde.
Something in the universe was
It's one of
not
those
right.
freaking planets.
One
I
of
don't know
those
which one it
things
is,
up
but
there.
when I find out,
Wait,
All
does
right.
Pluto, is that included in anything anymore? Like, did
No.
the astrological stuff have to update too when they're like, it's not a planet? They're like, great, now what's going to be in retrograde at that time?
I don't know.
Right.
I feel like he's back on the team now, right?
Is he? I don't know.
I think it's a hot debate.
I mean, I like him.
I think there's a lot of talk about Pluto lately.
Yeah.
It's being re-inducted into the Hall of Planets.
I think Pluto should be back in the solar system as a planet, and I think women should be allowed to play in the NFL.
What are we doing today, Des?
All right, yeah, let's do a podcast.
Listen, I want you all to bust open your apple cider
Oh, yeah.
and mix it with whatever mixer we are now allowed to drink because we are 21.
Yeah.
Because today we are talking about everyone's favorite
Alcoholism.
holiday. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are talking about Thanksgiving.
Hey.
Oh,
Turkeys and genocide.
Turkeys and genocide.
that's a good one.
Thank you.
And we will be addressing both conveniently. So,
It's not Thanksgiving dinner if you don't have a side of cultural genocide.
Stephen, what year did, like, what was, do you know what year our first Thanksgiving was?
Our first Thanksgiving? America's first Thanksgiving?
America's.
I don't know. I feel honored that you asked me specifically, but I do
Well,
not
I
know.
figured of the two of you, you might be
Probably
the...
like 6,300 BC.
Yep,
No,
that sounds
no.
right.
No, because Jesus was alive when we had our first Thanksgiving because he sat at the center of the table. There's
Right.
that famous picture that was taken at
him
the...
at-
the first
that was
Thanksgiving.
the first Thanksgiving. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's first
Who are we
Thanksgiving.
giving thanks to? You know?
I guess Jesus, right?
Oh, Harper
Oh.
disagrees.
Oh, Harper.
What's Harper got
was-
against Jesus?
Yeah. She's sleeping in this shed tonight.
Oh, God.
Just like Jesus' mother and stepdaddy.
Okay, for your first question, I need you to transport back to when the Pilgrims landed in North America,
Okay.
whatever the hell year that was. So they land on North America, and you're on one of the first 3 ships, and you hang around for a little while. You fuck up some native shit. You ruin a lot of lives. And for some reason, you decide to host this big Thanksgiving dinner with the very few Native Americans left, probably holding them hostage. So the New World is missing one very important thing, a luxury that you are pretty used to, and that is turkey. Let's say there is no turkey.
No turkey on Thanksgiving.
No turkey in North America at the time the Pilgrims land.
Oh, boy.
So what would be the best animal to substitute a turkey for Thanksgiving dinner?
Our morals.
Dig in. There's not enough for everyone, but
Nope. Very small portions today, kids.
These are dry.
Very tough, very chewy, very hard to swallow.
Okay,
So ain't no turkey,
I
so what
want
are we
to
gonna
imagine
cook?
the American buffalo, but sort of in
my
that same classic like comic strip layout of a turkey on top of the table, like an entire hairless buffalo in the middle of the
God.
table.
how far west would they have had to travel to track down this buffalo and drag it back?
They went pretty far.
I don't know.
Were there buffalo in Kentucky?
Oh yeah. So they could have been around. They just hadn't been driven away yet.
I've never seen one.
I've never seen one in real life anyway, so...
Buffaloes and ghosts don't exist.
Buffaloes and ghosts. So, Steven's liking a big full buffalo on the table, hooves and all.
Oh yeah, definitely. They didn't even bother to remove the fur. They just kind of hoped it would all singe off, but there's kind of some patches that didn't quite, like buffalo armpits and stuff. So,
Oh man.
Is that where they got
fuzzy.
buffalo wings?
Yep. Yeah.
When you peel the skin off of a buffalo, they actually have hundreds of tiny little wings underneath their skin, and then that's what they break off and fry up at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yep. I knew there had to be some correlation to buffalo.
That's where that phrase comes from. There's more than one
Yeah,
way
you like
to
cut them in
skin a
half,
buffalo.
and then it's just like a giant furry pomegranate of buffalo wings. And you just slap those little bastards out of there and dip them in some ranch.
I'm still processing the furry pomegranate of buffalo wings.
Yeah.
And what that might actually look like.
Well, think of them as little buds. That's how buffalo reproduce. They just pop off little baby buffalo. As it matures, it loses its wings and starts to grow tiny little wings under its skin.
It's like baby teeth.
Yeah.
And to think that we drove these beautiful creatures to extinction. What good uses if they could have... Oh, fuck me. That was a mouthful. What good uses...
That's a mouthful of buffalo.
That's a mouthful of buffalo wings. Fuck me.
I was just trying to say they could be of such good use to us now.
I know.
Michael, what do you want to see on the Thanksgiving table?
Well, my mind is thinking more of like, how can I fuck up the tradition of Thanksgiving after this point? Like, what would become the new traditional dinner staple of Thanksgiving, if not turkey?
Something really inconvenient or nasty.
I think it's a skunk. I think they're like, shit, we don't have a main dish for this big, oh my God, fucking neighbors are coming over. This is the first time we're going to have our neighbors over, and they already don't like us since we've moved to the neighborhood, and we're trying to make a good impression, and we don't have any fucking turkey. That's all I asked you to get, Jacob.
Yeah.
And Jacob's like, oh, sorry. I think there's turkey over here. And then he runs over into the bushes. He's like, kind of look like a turkey. And he pulls out this giant skunk. Not knowing what it is, because in his mind it's like,
never seen that
I've
before.
never seen this. This just looks like a different turkey. It's a little fuzzy turkey.
A little 4-footed turkey.
So he like fries it up and, in their deep fryer,
Oh, right.
just dips it straight in. And then
They're very modern deep fryer.
The smell of, my microphone fell. Hold on.
He was getting very excited with his hand
bitch
motions.
slapped it. I said, get this microphone out of my face. But then that deliciously pungent aroma that comes with the glands of a fried
It's like
skunk.
pre-seasoned.
Yeah. That's, you know how you walk into your aunt's house on Thanksgiving and instantly you're hit with the heating from the buck stove oven and it feels great, and then oh man.
Oh yeah.
Auntie Patrice is making her skunk again this year. I can smell it.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Can't wait to drown that in some gravy.
Sort of a good luck thing in our house. Like whoever gets the skunk sack, on the dish.
Yes.
You're carving up your piece, and there it is. You pop that sucker in your mouth and just squash that little grape of flavor.
I'll take the teeth. I love crunch on those little babies.
I regret this Thanksgiving dinner.
So what would be the equivalent of breaking the wishbone
for a skunk? I'm pretty sure it would have to be the stink sack.
Stink sack.
Yeah. Okay. So whoever pops the stink sack
thing.
Yeah.
So you can't look to see which side the little sphincter's on.
Oh,
all the cousins and little brothers get around in the kids' table, and everybody pushes their finger, and whoever gets squirted.
Whoever's finger goes into the stink sack.
Yeah.
Now, would that be good luck or bad luck?
Luck is in the eye of the beholder, I think, in this case.
Damn it, Nicole, you got the lucky stink on you.
Mm-hmm.
You get it every year.
Oh,
So you've got the grown-up table, the kids' table, and in the corner is the skunk table, and you just get to sit by yourself the rest of the dinner. You smell horrible.
They literally put you outside, and you have to watch the rest of your Thanksgiving dinner through the window.
Everybody waves at you occasionally, holds up like a Chunk-O-Skunk.
Chunk-O-Skunk.
Oh, here's to you, buddy.
You watch them cutting up the pumpkin pie, and you're like, oh, God, that looks so good. And they forget that you're outside until one of your cousins is like, oh, shoot, we forgot about Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's not much left. I'll just get the crumbs off with the pan. And they put all the crumbs onto a plate, and they put it through the doggy door, and they lock the doggy door to make sure Nicole doesn't get in. And she's outside in the cold eating her pumpkin pie crumbs, smelling like skunk sphincter.
Yeah.
Poor woman.
I mean, that's what she gets for being so goddamn lucky all the time.
Chunk-O-Skunk is the off-brand, it's the discount. It's a can of skunk.
Oh my gosh,
it's not
like a can of tuna.
Warm roasted skunk. Yeah.
Right. It's like you forgot to go get the actual, there's no more frozen skunk because you're too late. So you got to go get like the chunk of skunk in a can.
Don't you hate it when your coworkers come to work with chunk of skunk and they put it in the microwave?
Oh, and the break room microwave every time.
Oh my gosh, it's like other people work here. Mm-hmm. And it's not even Thanksgiving.
Gross. Okay, I want each of you to give me the name of a famous person. Any way famous, just a famous person.
One from each of us?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say... wait, no, you go first, Steven. You're about to say something.
Oh, no, I'm still thinking. Go ahead.
Viggo Mortensen.
Okay,
that's what I was going to say.
What? Nuh-uh.
Damn it. I don't know any other famous people.
Oh, wow, I'm spacing on his name. The guy...
I can help.
Shoot. Yeah, okay. He's in Jurassic Park. He is in... He makes appearances in shows like Portlandia and stuff all the time. Real tall, skinny guy with glasses. He has that funny way of talking. Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, Jeff
That's
Goldblum.
my choice. He's so funny. Just
Okay, cool.
so weird.
Okay, excellent. So Viggo Mortensen and Jeff Goldblum.
Walk into a bar.
All right, we'll start with Viggo first.
You know, all great stories start out with two old white guys.
Okay, so Viggo Mortensen invites you to Thanksgiving at his place. What do you bring?
Oh, dang.
I
don't know. Like, obviously, I want to bring, all of my, Lord of the Rings DVDs so he can sign them, but...
Totally, that's what I thought, too.
I'm his guest. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Imagine, if you invited someone to your house, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, Steven, I love your work on Strictly Hypothetical. Here, sign my iPod.
Sign my cell phone.
Sign my cell phone. I listen to your voice every day.
I don't know if I'd be able to resist taking my, leather-bound copy of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I know it's not polite, but Viggo invited me to dinner at his house.
Right.
It's either the book or my forehead. He's signing something, so...
I don't know. Maybe a revolver with only one bullet in it, because I feel like he'd be down for Russian roulette. He'd be like,
wow.
He'd be like,
he might
almost
be
a little too confident.
What else has he been in other than Lord of the Rings?
He was in The
we would
Road.
know?
He was in The Road.
Oh shoot, that was so good. Oh,
that's my favorite book.
He was in A History of Violence.
I've never seen that one.
He was in... he was in some other movies, I promise.
Are you on Google right now?
What? I'm not on Google. You're on Google.
Everything I've heard about him, he falls into his roles so incredibly seriously. He bought his horse from the Lord of the Rings set. I think there were
I remember reading about this.
Yeah, there were
a couple
mountain
horses,
scenes where the whole cast is helicoptered to the top except for Viggo, who insisted he's gonna walk.
He's like, no, I'm taking my new best friend.
No, he's a cool guy.
And that amazing scene when he kicks that helmet when he thinks the hobbits are dead, and he lets out the scream. He's like, ah! It's a real scream because he broke his foot when he kicked the helmet. That was improvised, and then he just went with it.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
He slept in costume, he never took it off.
Oh God, could
He
you
still
imagine?
has it.
He's still wearing it underneath his clothes.
That's why he was dressed up like Aragorn in The Road.
He actually, I think he took his outfit and like walked out in the woods and just camped out for a couple days. Then he even ripped it up a little bit and hand stitched repairs in it just to give it like a lived in. Yeah, dude's serious.
So then I would be super intimidated to go to Thanksgiving.
So alcohol, scotch.
Right.
Oh, I know. Apparently, he really like got into learning like mastering like sword play.
Mm-hmm.
You take a couple training swords over there, you know,
Like a
couple
Nerf sword?
No, like some wooden ones. Like you make a wrong move, you get hit in the shin, and it still kind of fucking hurts,
Ouch.
you know. And you tell him that you will dedicate your life to him if he will take you in as his squire.
Interesting.
I would proudly sport some bruises from Viggo. So
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
he's a cool guy.
I would have him autograph my bruises. And then give him little Viggo kisses.
Oh,
And then I would make sure he's wearing lipstick, and then I'd go to a tattoo parlor, and I would have the artist tattoo his lipstick marks onto me.
okay. So it was way too out of bounds to be like, "Hey Viggo, could you sign my copy of Lord of the Rings?" But instead, you're like, "Can you
much
leave
more
bruises on me? I'm
You've
gonna put some
earned it."
lipstick on you, and I need you to kiss me."
Well, you won't have to ask him to put the lipstick on; it'll already be on there.
Right. So the following year, after your very successful dinner with Viggo, you get a handwritten invitation from Jeff Goldblum to come have Thanksgiving dinner. What do you bring?
What does it say? Can you, Destiny? Can you channel your Jeff Goldblum and tell me what his handwritten note says to us?
I'm not terribly familiar with him, so probably not.
Something like, you are cordially invited to
My party, and bring whatever you like.
Exactly.
Somehow there's even like little eyebrow raises in the font. Like you can just tell it's there by reading. Probably.
Before
Have
you
you
say anything,
seen-
Steven, you have to bring condoms.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
I have some left over from the Viggo visit.
The first thing he's going to ask you about when he opens the front door, he's like, "Oh, hey, welcome to my."
Did you,
I don't sound anything like Jeff Goldblum, but "Oh, hey, welcome to my home. Did you bring the condoms?"
Yeah. And I have a whole
good,
pocket
good.
full. Probably a artisan knot. Have you seen that Portlandia
Artisan
sketch?
knot?
It's one of my favorites.
Oh, yes.
It's like in a little glass dome. And they're labeled like the sheep shank.
The sheep shank.
Yeah. I love
all
that
about that.
sketch. Yeah. I would have to make one and bring it to him. I don't know. Jeff Goldblum, I think I know less about him than Viggo.
I know.
For some reason, his
And you
face is
picked
just
him.
what's popped up into my head. Yeah.
His face and his intonation. I would just want to bring like a recorder, give him a book of my choice and say, could you read this for about 12 hours, please?
But he would stop every like couple sentences to tell a story about like this
know.
one time when he was hanging out with so and
break
so,
off.
and the wine was great. And it was so much wine. And like he would just go on to the story and then never come back to the book.
I would listen to that audiobook.
I would want him to read me Fahrenheit 451.
Or he could just read Lord of the Rings.
Or he could just read
I have
Lord
my
of the
signed
Rings.
copy from Viggo still in the
From
car.
last year.
As he's signing it, Viggo is like, I didn't write this, right? I had nothing to do with this book. You're making me sign this book.
Okay, wouldn't that... Okay, whole new thing. Like, imagine just going around taking different movies and books and getting the wrong actor to sign them. Just get your autograph on things that have nothing to do with them.
Isn't that a thing? I think we've seen a skit
Is
or
it?
something like that.
Oh, I didn't know. I just want to see like a eBay sale. It's like $300 signed copy of Return of the King by Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, I know exactly what I would take to Jeff Goldblum's house.
What?
A ball of yarn.
Yeah?
And I'll tell you why. Thanks for asking.
Is he a cat?
That is what... I think he's a cat.
Oh.
Like, He's like, ooh, what do you got there? A ball of yarn? Go get it. And you roll it. He's like, ooh, I'll chase it. And he goes and I can see him on the ground just like kicking a ball of yarn up in the air for hours.
And then his shirt kind of rides up and you see he's really just a stack of cats.
He's just a stack of cats in a Hawaiian shirt and some loafers.
Yeah.
With some good glasses and good hair.
You know he doesn't dress himself. There's no way that man puts on clothes in the morning.
No, why do I think he is like a hypersexual person?
I think he is.
He's never really played the role of like a hypersexual person. I feel like.
It's his growls.
He's been a sex icon since he popped out of the womb.
What?
Yeah.
He's foxy.
I still don't think he dresses himself. I think someone does that for him.
I saw a thing where somebody approached him on the street and was like, "You look exactly like Jeff Goldblum," and he just said, "Who's that?" And so they pulled up a picture on Google and said, "This guy," and he said, "Wow, he's pretty handsome," and just walked away. And it was their friend that was like, "That was really Jeff Goldblum."
That's awesome.
That was actually really him. FYI,
Michael Keaton apparently has a story like that where he saw a guy with this really awesome Beetlejuice tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
He walked up to him. He's like, "Oh, hey, man, like that's a sweet tattoo." And the guy was like, yeah. And then like got on his fixed speed bike and like pedaled away. And he was like, that guy does not realize that I am tattooed on his arm.
God, that would be so fascinating. All the different facets that you see your face in.
Michael, were you in the car when we saw Maroon 5?
I don't
in the
think
Highlands?
So.
I would have sworn you were. I know it was at least James and John, but we were driving around somewhere in the Highlands. And, James liked Maroon 5, and we had the windows down. It was James's turn to have the iPod, so he's playing, I don't even remember which song of theirs now, but then this taxi pulls up beside us.
No,
and these guys
you were
hang out the
listening
window.
to Maroon 5 when Maroon 5 pulled up? Oh,
yeah,
that's
I swear this is true. And they go, "Hey, that's our song." And we all look at each other like, I don't know, it comes on the radio and you're like, "Oh, this is my song." And we were like, "Okay." And like, "No, that's our song." And we're just like, whatever. And then,
whatever.
And then the light turns green and we just start going. And James is in the back seat, like pale as a ghost, speechless. He couldn't even get a word out, but he recognized them immediately. And so finally he like bursts back to life. And he's like, "That was them, guys." And we're like, "No, it wasn't." And he holds up his phone, the album cover, showing their face, because we don't know what Maroon 5 looks like. And sure enough, it was dead up them. And then he was like, "Why would they be in Louisville?" And they had a concert that night that had just ended, and they were coming around the town.
What's crazy is I was probably at that concert. I've seen Maroon 5 play. Yeah, they performed at Bellarmine University, and I went to that show. I'm not a Maroon 5 fan. Like, I was listening to a lot of like prog rock and like metal at the time, and I'm like, this is going to be trash. I'm just going because my girlfriend likes this band. And I went and I had a whole new appreciation for pop music. It was an incredible show.
Well, we saw them afterward and probably missed an opportunity to hang out with them somewhere. Much to James'
Did you notice that
taxi.
They were all getting blown? Like when you were blown? They were all getting blown?
They were getting blown.
Maroon 5 gets blown. Hey, that's our song.
Oh, God.
They did. Like, they literally leaned out the window and we blew them off.
In the car.
They were like desperately pleading with us, like, "No, that's our song."
Like they have never heard someone listening to their songs before. Come on, Maroon 5. Cut me a fucking break.
In a separate timeline, a whole other lifetime ago, you find yourself a manager at a local Best Buy or other major department store.
Oh, no.
A long
chain.
time ago.
No, a lifetime,
Oh,
like a different lifeline.
okay.
Life timeline. Jesus, so many words. Timeline.
What have I done to be reincarnated as a Best Buy manager?
Yeah, well, we'll find out.
Yeah, if you're lucky, Steven.
We're preparing for Black Friday.
Oh, no.
And the day finally arrives.
God.
So already that's a nightmare. But at 1 minute till midnight, you get a call from your boss at HQ, Best Buy HQ. And he says, "We're canceling all Best Buy deals. You have to go out front and tell everyone who's been waiting there will be no Black Friday deals." what do you do to tell all these people?
Do you recall the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan?
Oh God, no, not offhand.
So you're just going to gun them all down with a machine gun?
Yeah.
Right when the doors open?
No.
Poor kids didn't have a chance.
Trenches cut, there's barbed wire. Yeah. And people
Sorry,
are still
folks.
like dragging themselves trying to get
they're
the
like
new
picking up their
MacBook
arm.
Pro or something.
Like one dude's walking around with one arm and he picks up his other arm that's still holding his iPhone so that he can like
But
tweet
that
it.
TV is $50 off.
You know, having worked in retail, it's sickening that almost every single product that is discounted was made specifically for Black Friday
Right.
at that price. It's not discounted at all.
Right.
Well, Steven, there's something I need
special
to...
markdowns.
I hate to break it to you, bud, but there are paychecks for people like you and me that need to be paid by big corporations. I mean, that's after the guys at the top skim off a couple $1 billion. But you know what? You can pay $80 for a router, okay? So that little Susie Sally can take home her minimum wage to feed her 6 children.
Yeah. You're not breaking anything to me. I'm already broken. Worked retail.
So do you get out there with a pulpit and explain to these people that the markdowns are
I
fake?
think this is what I would do. I would walk out and say, Best Buy is canceling all Black Friday deals, and I would take my name tag off and I would say, I don't work here anymore, but I'm leaving the front door open. Good luck. Godspeed.
Good luck to all of you on your hunt.
And then afterwards, it would be a bloodbath. Like people would be beating each other's heads in with like Switch controllers and Dyson vacuum cleaners.
Basically, just Black Friday happens.
And then Steven and I would have to go around to all of the mothers, deliver them like the American flag to let them know that their 16-year-old son was stabbed to death over the latest copy of Yokai Watch.
Gosh. Yeah, it's the most American thing to die.
What game did you just
I don't
say?
know. I just pulled it out of my butt.
Oh,
It's something the kids like.
it must be.
Yeah, he
I'm
gave
not
his life
hip to
for
that.
service for our economy, man. There's no higher
And
honor.
here is an American flag themed napkin that I have folded up into a Chinese throwing star for you.
And then you flag football, the finger football, the little
Yes.
finger.
Paper football.
Banks off of their forehead.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
And you say one last thing as you walk away, and you're like, your son really liked Fortnite for a while. And then that would like be the only little bit of information you had on him.
What are some other places that people like line up for? Walmart. Y'all, I know people are hanging out outside of Walmart for those gun savings.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's at Walmart?
Buy one pistol, get 6 shotguns free.
They have a whole Best Buy within Walmart, so there's that.
You can buy a Best Buy at Walmart on Black
You can
Friday.
buy a Best Buy at Walmart.
So I don't know if this place does Black Friday deals, but I know that every time Finish Line drops a new pair of Nikes of like any kind, like there's people wrapped around the building. So I think that if they put out their Thanksgiving themed Air Jordans with like turkey feathers off the back, they're like, we're only making 1 million of these.
Turkey feathers. Skunk tails.
Big skunk tails hanging off the back. You're walking down a hallway and people are accidentally stepping on it because they're too busy looking at their phones.
Yeah.
Nobody notices your cool Jordans.
People will beat the shit out of each other for a pair of sneakers. I can't imagine what that looks like on Black Friday.
So what group of people would you least like to turn away? Do you want to turn away like the super hyped teenagers outside of Best Buy and like their parents that have been stuck there with them for an eternity waiting for the sales to go on? Or the crazy people at Walmart? I can't even categorize them down to a single type of person. All the crazy people at Walmart. Or like budget moms who are waiting outside of Kohl's forever.
With like their stack of coupons.
I say fuck them all, let all the dogs in.
Honestly, I think
Deals for
anyone
dogs.
who's done retail would resonate with this whole question because it honestly just sounds like a good time to disappoint all of those people.
Fuck all y'all.
Peace,
I
y'all.
could have been eating my roasted skunk with Aunt Gertrude, and instead I had to come in here at like 3 a.m.
You know, there's nothing better than that day after Thanksgiving skunk. Oh, you eat that for the rest of the week.
It really ripens.
Leftovers.
Some cranberry sauce.
Doesn't cranberry flavored come from skunk butt?
Sure does. Full circle, baby.
That's raspberry from beavers.
From beavers. Raspberry from beavers.
Well, raspberry comes from beavers. Cranberry comes from skunks.
Yeah. What do you get from buffaloes?
Caramel.
Ew.
In liquid form too, not like
saltwater taffy. It comes right out the back end of them. They have these glands on their anus that you just push, and the saltwater taffy just comes out.
Yeah, you gotta kind of pimple pop that taffy right out. And they're already pre-wrapped though, so it's sanitary.
Just don't put the wrapper in your mouth.
All right, boys, have we done it?
We've done something. We
explored
have done something.
Thanksgiving. It'll be here before we know it. This episode will come out, I think, just right before it, maybe the week before. But I got one last bonus round.
Oh, cool.
If you all are up for it.
Oh, yeah. Always.
But this is less hypothetical. This is just me being mushy. Are you ready?
Aww.
What is one thing you all are thankful for this holiday season? Just give me one thing.
One thing, man.
Anything.
There's so many things I'm thankful for.
You're cornering
like
Michael
it.
into being serious, and he's squirming so hard over
He doesn't necessarily. It could be. I mean, he could be thankful for
I bought some new house slippers the other day from Target. I'm thankful for those.
Yeah, you are, because it's
My
cold.
feet are warm.
Are they fuzzy on the inside? Tell me about these slippers.
They're cushy. Yeah.
Are you wearing them right now?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, show them off.
Right, ready? Okay, everyone on the podcast, just imagine me doing a perfect handstand and putting my feet in your face.
What he's doing right now. I can't see your foot.
they're
That's
solid
just your
black.
groin.
Yeah.
Hey, there it is. All right. Those look comfy.
I'm going to do a backflip. Hey, yeah. I landed it perfectly on one fingertip. And I'm going to do a couple push-ups off this fingertip. Another backflip. And I stuck the landing.
Those are some springy house shoes.
Yeah. How many reps do you do on your fingertip push-ups every day?
Well, it sounded like a couple, but it was definitely dozens.
Yeah, just extra fast.
So fast, yeah.
Steven, what are you thankful for?
Oh, boy.
Just one thing, real quick, right off the cuff.
Oh, I've got a couple. I'm happy
Of
to
course
have
you do.
a happy, healthy little baby girl.
Yeah.
Yes, our Sundottir.
You know, I'm thankful for that, too. That's mine. I take that one, Steven. You have to pick a different one.
But no, really, I am also thankful for I have been fortunate to have a good group of friends spread across the country, but I feel like I get to keep in contact with them in a lot of different ways, and it's always so encouraging. Except for Michael. No, but really, I always take away something from that interaction, whether it's on Marco Polo. Just getting little snippets into everybody's life, even if I don't get to spend as much quality time with them as I would like. I enjoy that, and it's always so encouraging.
Yes, it is.
Also, Michael's slippers.
Yay! That's the
baller.
best part of Thanksgiving. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I'm super thankful for you guys. Like, when I came up with this idea for this podcast, I did not think it was going to work. And it kind of gave me an excuse to hang out with Steven again in our own weird little way.
More than we ever did when we were actually in the same state.
I was like, we became friends, and then you moved to Colorado. And I was like, well, fuck. What am I supposed to do now? Play Halo 2 with him? I don't think so.
You called me. I was in a farmer's market living in a van, and you were like, hey, I want to record a podcast. And I was like, I literally do not know how I'm going to do this, but yes. And yeah.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
And now we get to do this thing. And we recently broke 1,000 downloads.
Yes. That's a podcaster's dozen.
A podcaster's dozen is 1,000 downloads.
Yeah.
But 1,000 downloads, and that's awesome. Like, I didn't expect anyone to listen to this or, like this weird sense of entertainment that that we're providing. But, I guess I'm thankful for everyone who's listening to this as well.
Yeah.
I knew you could be serious.
And my heart grew 3 sizes that day.
I don't want to follow up that one. That one should have been the last one.
I'll edit it to make it blast. How about that?
I was going to say I'm thankful that we can provide a safe and warm space for our little puppers.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
just saw
comes to mind
Scamper by a
first.
second ago.
It's always she's mouse hunting. There's probably a mouse in the crawl space for
Looking
sure.
for Stringy and Sniffy.
I know. I'm thankful that she is agile enough to like spook them away. So no, I just see all these sweet baby animals that need a home in the winter time, and a lot of them can't be provided that. So I'm glad we're able to give these two
Yeah.
a comfy couch, lots of belly rubs, and all the animals in our lives. We're very fortunate to have their mommies and daddies.
Everyone out there, adopt a dog.
Adopt, don't shop.
Adopt, don't shop.
Ooh, that's a great tagline. Is that already a thing?
Yes,
Or did
it
you
is.
just pull that out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say,
No.
I've never heard that, but that's way better than buying another jacket.
Adopt, don't shop. Duh.
Well, thank you all so very much for listening. Again, we are very grateful that you're here. We hope you have a fantastic holiday celebrating however you do. Yeah, and we love you. Always remember to subscribe. That way we can hit 1,000 subscribers one of these days.
One day we'll do it.
Yeah, this is your fault it hasn't happened.
Send us any awkward scenarios that happen at your Thanksgiving dinner table.
Yeah.
Please, Lord,
yes.
give us some content to create a Thanksgiving Fallout episode with. And you can send that to our Instagram at the SHPod, or shoot us an email. You can do it covertly at the dinner table. Shoot us an email, strictlyhypotheticalpod@gmail.com. And thank you all. Boys, always remember to flex your hypothetical muscles, because you never know when.
Viggo Mortensen will have you over to his place for a little Chunk-O-Skunk.
A little Chunk-O-Skunk.
Stinky.
Thank you all for
Love
listening.
that holiday stank. Toodles.
Be you. Goodbye.
Bye. Oh, boy.
Nobody notices your cool Jordans.